Y'all, Jackie got the receipts, baby. Jackie has got the receipts indicating that she helped Jen on her journey to producing this documentary. We got to talk about it, okay? We got to talk about it all and how Jennifer versus Jackie turns into Brandy versus Jackie. We gonna get into all the tea. Listen, Sky Squad, we back in the building. We got to talk about this recap of Basketball Wives season 10, episode 23. Okay, next season, y'all, I'm gonna need y'all not to do this whole season A, season B type situation because I'm just like, wasn't this like 2 years ago? But anyway, okay, we still got to talk about it. We still got to talk about it because it's fresh today ish. Okay, so let's get into it. You know, we start this episode. Oh, what we gonna rate this episode? Let's get into that. What we rating this episode on a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this one an 8.5. I mean, I feel like it hit the notes of a Basketball Wives episode. I mean, there was some screaming, there was a trip, there was Angel in her big giant disco ball hooped earrings that I am sure caused her earlobes to drag the floor of her house. Okay, well, we're gonna talk about that. Everybody starts this episode off. Y'all remember back in the day? You remember back in the day watching Basketball Wives? I used to feel like I used to be so tense watching Basketball Wives because I felt like every episode they was about to fight. Like it was 2 seconds away from it being a fight. It always felt like we was in the danger zone of this show. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, I think sometimes I'm like, you know, I'm wondering where that danger zone is gonna pop back up in at. And I felt like we might have been we were close to the danger zone tonight. You know what I'm saying? We was real close to it tonight. But anyway, let's get this thing started. All right. Side note, I am in my robe because I'm actually pre-recording this video because I got the busy day. Okay. So bear with me because we getting the thing done. All right. All right. So anyway, listen. Everybody gets a bouquet of flowers and an invitation to the re-engagement of Duffy party in the Mexico. Okay. Now, British, of course, does not know whether or not she can go because she got the ankle monitor and things like that. And I don't think that is prohibitive, you know, for her to be traveling down to the Mexico, where is, you know, she's in a foreign country and the liability is a little bit greater for her to make a great escape. I'm guessing that's the theory or something like that. Make a great escape while she on the camera. I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, when we look at the severity of the charges, I mean, I think it does make sense. And the fact that she did kind of violate, you know what I'm saying, and dip and do, you know, when she wasn't supposed to without giving prior notice. So I understand why she's in the predicament that she is in, unfortunately. So anyway, long story short, she ain't gonna be able to make it. I mean, spoiler alert for those of you guys who are watching the episode. She gonna think she can go, but she ain't gonna be able to go. In my opinion, I felt like she knew she wasn't gonna be able to go from the start. So anyway, over to Angel's store, you know, which I want to see more of. I told y'all I feel like Angel's business is part of what is so exciting about Angel in the first place. She's a designer. She's designing for the people. And it's like, why haven't we seen her design more stuff for these ladies? I mean, I understand that, I don't know if they're paying or not, you know, when she be paying, you know, doing the things on the show and she making a dress for Duffy's re-engagement. So I'm like, you know, well, is Duffy paying for that? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or is it a good promotion for the Angel? Anyway, there's some talk about whether or not Angel's actually going to go on this trip. I don't even know why we pretending at this point. Angel should just be a friend of the show. Literally, Angel should be a friend of the show or an acquaintance of the show, the atelier of the show. I mean, the designer, the set designer, something that she ain't got to be nowhere and do nothing except maybe send in some stuff, send in some sketches and things like that. Because for really honestly, for the most of this season, that's about the amount of work we have gotten out of Angel this season anyway. And so I just kind of feel like, allow her to send in her sketches, and there we see Angel. Heck, just send in a pair of her big earrings, and we'll think that she was there anyway, because I can't see her face past the earrings. So there we go, problem solved. We know what to do with Angel for next season. We put some sketches in the background, put it up on a painting like that, right there. And there's Angel's contributions to the show, because Angel ain't got really the time, nor the patience, nor the energy to be dealing with all of this. And she got these kids at home. She got this man that we ain't seen all season. You know what I'm saying? She got all the things happening, and none of this has to do with Basketball Wives. So I don't really know if she got time for this thing no more. Okay? So anyway, Brooke stops by Jackie's Drip in Dior, okay? The designer, the Dior, French Dior, all that, And so Jackie just wants to steer clear of the negativity. She loves Jen, don't you know? And, she recaps seeing Jen at the nail salon and how Jen gave her the stinky face and whatever. She says she apologized to Jen and it still wasn't good enough. But, Jackie was going through their messages, and Jackie shows the message where Jen says, to send her an email, or there was an email exchange of some sort. And because, Jackie is the producer, in case you forgot, okay? And so she shows a back and forth of maybe Jen, maybe allegedly asking for some type of help or something like that. All commentary is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. So if I get it wrong, don't come after me. But that's what I thought I remember her saying, okay? Based on the notes that I'm looking at right here when I was typing like a secretary, okay? So anyway, because of these, receipts on the phone, these messages that I can't see, basically what we are left to understand, because Brooke believes these messages, she believes them to be true, is that in some way, shape, or form, Jennifer asked for help, and in some way, shape, or form, Jackie ended up helping her. So where did we get this notion that Jackie was saying that she was helping her produce? Is it because Jackie said she was a producer, or did somebody take it back that Jackie said she was a producer on it? Because I feel like that's the effect that it's having on Jen, okay? Now, somewhere along the way, I feel like we done played a game of telephone, and I might have been included in that game. I don't know. But I wasn't there at that time. I'm just telling y'all what I feel like has happened in the weeks leading up to this, okay? I don't remember what I said last week. I don't remember what I said the week before that. I barely remember what I wore yesterday. So don't quote me on it. But at the end of the day, somebody said that Jackie was a producer on the thing, okay? That's all I know. Brooke just wants to know who lying, all right? So Brooke was busy this episode, okay? Brooke was busy. She cooked and used some wings and things, and British stopped by to eat because, she was hungry. And so she hopes her ankle monitor is coming off so she can go on this trip. Girl, it ain't coming off. So anyway, she did fire her attorney. So that's maybe good news or whatever. But given the most recent news, I don't know if that was good news or not. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So Brooke has prayed about her marriage, and she's open to having conversations and going to counseling and seeing where it's going to go. She ain't told nobody because she don't want to be influenced by nobody else's decisions. I understand. Okay. He's popping up in LA, doing all the things and whatnot. And we'll see where it goes. Duffy and Amon is out with the kids, and she's practicing her affirmations, telling him, I love you. You're such a good man. You make love to me right. You do it to me good, daddy, and all that kind of stuff like that, And she presents this as a healing trip to Mexico and says that, Jackie is doing something with the men's on the last day, so I want you to come down on the last day. And he ain't really looking too thrilled about it. Quiet as it's kept, I understand it. Here's the thing. You want to support your people. You want to support your partner. You want to support your loved one and whatnot and whoop-de-whoop. But all this coming on the last day type stuff on these trips it's got to be a drag. You know what I'm saying? You got to fly all the way down to the Mexico for one day. Who really want to do that? the inconvenience of having to fly down there is not, I don't know, it don't seem worth it to me, especially if you think that it's just gonna be for some like, you know, whoop-de-woo couples thing in which you don't really know these people no way. So I understand why he's like, oh, I could be at the poker game that I was invited to. Anyway, everybody's packing, you know. I could have swore Jen made a reference to her ex Jaylani. Anyway, Brooke's husband called while she packing, and he actually volunteers to come meet her down there for that couples thing. Now I do wonder if he's gonna go. The more I see of Brooke on this show, the more I'm interested in her. You know, I like Brooke overall. I do, and I think the more she opens up, I'm really starting to fall in love with her character. I just wish she was funnier. You know what I'm saying? I think if Brooke was funny, you know what I mean? That's kind of what this show is like lacking a little bit. You know, let me tell you why I say that. Because initially we had Jackie and Drea, right? And who knew in the beginning that Jackie would be, I mean, literally the last one standing. And then who knew that Drea would also turn out to be so funny, right? So when Drea left, and that, you know, it was two dynamics of comedy that was on the show at one point in time. You had Jackie and then you had Drea, right? And so then after Drea left, you had Tammy come in, right? So Tammy is funny. And then you had Evelyn come on back through, and Evelyn is funny. Whether you like her or not, she's funny. And she ain't always right, but she definitely funny to me anyway. I mean, when we're looking at things that we want to be objective about the situation. So you have all of these funny people, and then you have a couple of seasons where things get so serious, and now you want to bring it back. You've lost some of the comedy because you only have Jackie now to provide the comic relief. So I think that what I'm missing from Brooke that I would love is some comedy, but that just ain't her persona, and I would prefer that she not try to be that if that's not her, right? I think British is trying to give us a little bit of comedy, but I don't really feel like it's really what I'm accustomed to from a reality TV star. Like, you know, a star. When did he say the starless? I think that's what we need for next season. We need somebody that can inject a little bit of extra comedy, drama, over the topness to the show. And I think that we'll be right back on the good foot if they can find that sweet spot of that type of person, right? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, everybody gets down to the Mexico. You know, British can't come, but we'll learn about that later. Angel ain't there. Dress ain't there. Thank God everybody got a suite. Nothing deluxe for these ladies on this trip. And, you know, for Jackie, the ball is in Jen's court, you know, so, but if she's waiting on Jen, she is going, please don't hold your breath, Jackie, because Jen is not letting this go, okay? So they arrive to the jungle with all their designer totes in tow, all right? And they hit the cenote. You know what? If I see another cenote on a cash trip, I don't know what I'm going to do. I had to see the cenote on Portia's Family Matters. I had to see the cenote on The Real Housewives of Potomac. And now I got to see the cenote on Basketball Wives. Quiet as it's kept, Basketball Wives probably went to the cenote first because this show was filmed so long ago. But we are just now seeing it. So I digress. Anyway, Jen is not trying to get up in that cenote water because it's bat poop up in there, but she does end up getting in some kind of way. Jackie's commentary in this moment, as she's talking about Jennifer and her confessionals, is an example of what I'm talking about that we need more of. As she's describing the fact that Jen don't want these fish around her hoo-ha area or whatever. Jackie's like, these fish ain't worried about her. You know what I'm saying? But it's just her delivery. It's just that's more of the type of shade, and you know, it's this light level of shade that is delivered by a person that's just so, it just comes out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You just be like, where that come from? And you end up quoting it later. I mean, what Jackie said wasn't a quotable per se, but I did chuckle a little bit because I understood where she was going with it. Meanwhile, the group breaks up after the cenote swim. Brandy asks how Jen is feeling. She's unbothered, but she does realize she needs to talk to Jackie because, now that the show is sold, she feels like Jackie wants to take credit for it. And Jackie, for Jennifer's part, Jennifer says Jackie wasn't part of the production. And Jen is still in court to try to get justice for this man allegedly stealing her car. Now she's upset that she has to defend herself over something that she's still going through, but she also doesn't want to rock the boat because it's Duffy's trip. Spoiler alert, boat will be rocked. So anyway, for Jackie, okay, she's talking to Brooke and Duffy. And, Brooke reveals to Duffy that Jackie did show her some receipts, that she does believe that Jen asked for some help. And Jackie says that she tried to warn Jen about how the situation with Jen and her ex could look because she's claiming that he stole her car, but they was also together. So for Jackie, I guess she's questioning how this is going to play out in the public eye because Jen was dating the guy. So I really don't know where that was going. She says it's a dangerous game that Jen is playing with the situation. It is very interesting to me that she's done a documentary about something that is still ongoing. Usually when I think of a documentary, I am thinking about something like a true crime thing that's been solved. But this is, I guess, maybe going to be a case of unsolved mysteries because the thing is still ongoing. Okay. So Jen does let us know via Twitter. If you go on over to her Twitter page, I just didn't pull it up because I don't feel like it. But she does let us know that the documentary is done and it has been dropped off to VH1. So it's up to VH1 to determine when it's going to be put out. Okay. And again, to me, it would have made the most sense to put this out right after an episode of Basketball Wives while the episodes are actually on. So then we can increase the interest and the promotion for the documentary as well as the show. It would make so much sense, the synergy of it all. However, I don't know what's going to happen with that. But Brooke thinks that this needs to be a group discussion. Probably not, but Brooke wants it to be. I mean, I don't think it should be because ultimately we know where that's going to go. But for the sake of this show, yeah, it should be a group discussion. A ponderosa, if you will. So anyway, they do a picnic. They talk about Duffy being nervous. There's some theater about whether or not Angel's going to arrive with this dress. They ask about Brooke. They start giving their opinions and whatnot and woo-de-woo, if she's going to divorce him, if she's not, So Jackie decides that they need to FaceTime British because why not? I mean, they're down a couple of girls. You know what? Also, too, quiet as it's kept, whether y'all like it or not, they probably should have kept them sisters, them Dorsey sisters, because I mean, with as many people as dropping out of this trip, they could have used these Dorsey sisters for some extra drama. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no shade. I mean, I'm not saying that the Dorsey sisters are only used as a plot point. However, I do think that they would have added to the mix and added an extra dynamic to this mix of ladies because I feel like they need a little bit of, I think they need a little something. Because you left now with a cast of only 5 people. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't know. I don't even like for my Housewives shows to have 5 people. So I really don't want to see my basketball. I'm used to basketball wise. There could be 10 people happening all at one time. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. So, I mean, y'all might want to throw in a couple of extra girls just for safety because these girls are dropping like flies. Meanwhile, they all find out British can't come. Spoiler. Okay. And so now back at the hotel, Duffy's FaceTiming Iman. There's some theater there about whether or not he's coming or not. He'd rather be at the poker game than having to travel all the way to Mexico only for one day. I understand it. Anyway, it's dinner time and the tension is thick, okay, with Jackie and Jen. And, we need to get into the discussion of Jackie and Jen. But, you know, Brooke brings it up and suggests that they take the healing path. We'll see how that works. So Jackie agrees, but Jen doesn't really have anything to say. So Brandy gets to talking to them about not being petty at this dinner. And Jen is like, I know you are not talking about not being petty. As petty as you've been to Duffy, okay? All this time, have you even had a one-on-one conversation with her while you trying to make me have a one-on-one conversation with Jackie? And Brandy's like, well, I communicated how I felt. And Duffy was like, when? Okay? Because really how they left it was Duffy poured her heart out to Brandy, and Brandy said, okay, I'll forgive you, but I won't forget. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? And then there was like this tenuous sort of reunion at Brandy's Ponderosa when she had it at her crib, at her rental, but her corporate apartment. But outside of that, I mean, it really wasn't much to it. I'm gonna need, you know what? Can we not give them corporate apartments next season? I mean, I just, you know, I know maybe it's some budgets and things like that, but I think if we're gonna do this, like let's put them up in houses. You know what I'm saying? Like you can find them some houses and things like that, or at least I don't know. I just be feeling like, why y'all put these people up in these corporate houses for the show when I can tell it's corporate houses because they be looking empty. At least stage it like so it's like stage it like they do a TV show. You know what I'm saying? I be watching some of these TV shows. I be like, I swear somebody live in that house. Okay, I know somebody live up in there. You see all this stuff they got going on up in that kitchen. If your kitchen ain't full of stuff, I don't believe that you live there. I really don't. When I look at a kitchen, if I see a bare kitchen. I be seeing bare kitchens on Instagram and stuff like that. And I be like, how y'all keep that kitchen that clean? How is it that y'all ain't got nothing in that kitchen? I be feeling like, dang, what do you cook with? Okay. How do you, I mean, like, where are your supplies? What are you doing here? Like, I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know about y'all. I mean, it's not like my kitchen's in disarray. I just got stuff in the kitchen that, you know, that you cook with. The stuff that you need. You know what I'm saying? Things that should be in a kitchen. You know, so I'm not buying these minimal kitchens. Meanwhile, what's happening? Okay. So essentially Jen is like, girl, Brandy, until y'all get y'all situation resolved, don't be talking to me. Duffy's like, well, we'll work it out, essentially, because she understands that Brandy needs time and they own the path. But back to Jen and Jackie. So at this point, Jackie feels like she's tried to talk to Jen, but if she wants to talk, then she's here. Jen is like, okay, let's put it out on the table. Why are you telling these ladies that you were a producer on my project? Okay. Jackie says she never said she was a producer. That was a lie. So Jen is looking at everybody like, huh? Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I thought I heard somebody say that too. And I wasn't even there. Okay. But I watched it on the TV screen, and I'm quite sure. Now, y'all let me know in the chat if I'm wrong, but I could have swore it was lost in the translation somewhere that somebody said, and I don't know who it was, that Jackie had said that she was a producer on it. Now, we might have got that conflicted and conflated with Jackie saying that she is a producer, meaning we taking it as Jackie saying she's a producer on the project. But I think somebody else said it, and I feel like it was either one of the three Bs, British, Brooke, or Brandy. And right now, I'm gonna put it on British. Why? One, because she not there. So she ain't got nothing, she can't do nothing about it. Two, she not a reliable witness. I think we know why. And three, I just feel like she said it. So based on our past history of saying things and getting people and getting people riled up about stuff. So we're gonna blame British at this point in time, but it might not have been her. Okay, and that's all right too, because we don't know. All right, my memory's fuzzy. Maybe I'm not the reliable witness. I don't know. I cannot remember. All I know is somebody said it. Okay? Now, if y'all know who, put it in the chat. Maybe it was on a secret recording, you know, like on every other show. So anyway, Jackie in her confessional says she never said she was a producer on the project, but Jen did call her and ask her for help, and she helped her. Brooke says, well, I didn't say you was a producer. Well, I guess we can rule her out. So anyway, the point is lost because Jen just wants her to stop talking and taking credit for some ish that Jen is still going through. And Jen does get to pound it on that table now. So at this point, Jen is riled up. Clearly, she's frustrated. And I feel right bad for her, you know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't tell if she was about to cry or not. You know, She did look like her lip was trembling a little bit. So I did, you know, when somebody about to cry, I do get the feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the next thing you know, Jackie is calling Jen all kinds of stupid B's. And, you know, I think she said the lady's project was garbage. Oh, yes, she did. I said, now, Jackie, now today, you done went a little bit too far in that direction. Now, we talked about this. Definitely you want to give a scene, but you don't want to go that far, okay? Because now you're calling the project garbage and trash, okay? So I feel like we done ventured off into dangerous territory at this point, because I do feel like, Jackie, you was wrong for that one. And I got to call you out. I got to call you out on that one, Jackie. I mean, you give, Jackie, but you gave a little too much, okay? You know, at this point, you know, they just yelling back and forth, and Jen has to be escorted off by Brandy because she don't want to fight no senior citizen. That was her words, not mine. And so Brandy's like, girl, let it go. But Jennifer is not letting it go. And basically, Jen is like, I need her to produce a producer's agreement, because that's the only real receipt, not these little text messages she's showing back and forth. Jennifer says that Jackie lies all the time, and Brandy is like, well, she does exaggerate. And Jennifer is like, not on my watch, okay? You will not continue to normalize Jackie's bad behavior, okay? It's not okay. And she wants Brandy to hold Jackie accountable. But Jackie is screaming at Jen, you know, the B, okay, come back over here, you HOE, come back over here. Now, she's screaming across the restaurant, mind you. So at this point, Brandy does jump in. She's taking Jen's advice about holding Jackie accountable. And she yells back, you're doing too much, Jackie. You supposed to be a coach's wife, okay? How you doing all of this? But Jackie is like, oh, now I got to take some disrespect from Brandy, okay? From way across the room. Now she disrespecting and coming from my family. And so she was like, I invited Brandy to my home, and now she disrespecting me and my husband like this? So Brandy comes back over to, you know, confront her face to face. And Jackie gets up and lets her know, don't be talking about my husband, okay? So they up in each other's face, screaming, they're getting into it. Jackie has had enough at this point, and she walks off, but Brandy ain't done. But Brandy can't catch up to Jackie because Brandy can't walk in a 6-inch stilettos, okay? They're getting caught, I think, up in the little, you know, the little ridges and things like that, that when you're walking on planks or whatever, the wood and whatnot. Either that or she just couldn't walk in them in general. I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if you can't walk in the shoes, throw on some Crocs, okay? But then if you throw on some Crocs and I can see the Crocs, then I'm going to be mad because I'm like, where are you going in these Crocs? I need you to be dressed up when you're going to be on TV. You know what I'm saying? We watching these shows to see fabulosity. So what I'm going to need you to learn how to do is walk in these Crocs or get yourself some wedges, okay? And I feel like a wedge is cheating, okay? I always do. I don't know why. That's just what somebody told me one time. They said the wedge is cheating. Is a wedge cheating? Because I feel like, I mean, you know, we want to see you. Listen, they was dressed up for a fancy dinner, so we want to see, you know, you come high stepping it up in there. So maybe if you can't do 6-inch heels, maybe you can do a kitten heel. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine Brandy in a kitten heel? That just, I mean, it just seemed like, you know what? It's just literally sending me. I ain't got time for y'all. That's my review of Basketball Wives. I will catch you all in the next video. So I'm Richie Skye, the author and publisher of The Wickedest Wives, Desiree's Desire, which is book 1 in a series. This book is about redemption. It's the story of a disgraced journalist who has lost everything. And now she has to rebuild her life brick by brick. And what better way to do that than to join a reality TV show? Why not? Now, not only are we talking reality TV, so you know there's going to be scandal, you know there's going to be a little bit of deception, backstabbing, a little romance, and why not throw in a sprinkle of murder to really round out the excitement? So I really want you guys to dive headfirst into these books. Desiree's Desire is just the first of many to come. So I'm super excited for you guys to read this, and I want to know exactly what you think. So be sure to follow, like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.